What's up, fight fans? Jay all day here. We had some very disappointing UFC news this week. Jon Jones and Stipe Miocic at UFC 295 has been canceled. Jon Jones tore the pec off the bone. I'm going to show you the training footage here of the actual injury. It's pretty bad. He's not going to fight for at least a year. But the day before this happened, I shot a video about why I did not like the Stipe Jon Jones fight to begin with. And I still want to share that with you guys because I think it's still relevant considering Dana White still wants to book this fight for a year from now. Stipe will be pushing 43, which makes no sense to me at all whatsoever. But at least we have Sergey Pavlovich and Tom Aspinall to look forward to. Check out the video. Welcome back to Jay All Day, everyone. If you haven't yet, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I have a great MMA Business Hour episode for you guys today. Now I'm going to break down why the UFC 295 fight between Stipe Miocic and Jon Jones absolutely sucks. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why I don't like this fight. Stay tuned. The first reason on why I'm not a huge fan of this particular fight is because of Stipe Miocic and Jon Jones' age. Jon Jones is 36. Stipe Miocic is 41. If this fight would have happened 6 or 7 years ago, it would have been fought at a much higher skill level. Stipe Miocic hasn't fought in almost 3 years, and combined, each one of these fighters have only fought once each in almost 3 years. These fighters are not active, and this Stipe Miocic we're seeing at 41 years of age is not the Stipe Miocic that tore through the heavyweight division 6-7 years ago. It's just not. Jon Jones is almost 5 years younger than him, which is insane to me because I feel like Jones has been fighting for absolutely ever, right? And Jon Jones has even slowed down a lot. A lot of people think he lost to Dominic Reyes. And when he fought Cyril Gane, he fought a guy who just had no ground game at all whatsoever. So it was a pretty much tailor-made win for Jon Jones. Jon Jones is without a doubt one of the greatest fighters of all time. But at this particular juncture in his career, he's not the Jon Jones from 10 years ago. And Stipe Miocic is not the heavyweight killer from 6 or 7 years ago. So we're getting a watered down version of Stipe Miocic and Jon Jones. I wish they would have made a fight like this 5, 6, 7 years ago when these guys were still in the prime of their career and absolutely dominating the UFC. So who knows how this fight is going to play out, but I think the skill level in which this fight is fought is definitely going to be not what we're accustomed to for championship fights. I don't know how this plays out because Stipe Miocic is approaching 42 years of age. The last time he fought almost 3 years ago in March is when he got flatline KO'd by Francis Ngannou. How's he going to recuperate from that? And when you're out of the cage for 3 years, I don't care what anyone says, ring rust is real. Your timing's off. And when you're fighting a guy like Jon Jones, it's not going to be good for you. You think his takedown defense is going to be next level after taking 3 years off? And he hasn't fought a wrestler since he fought DC, pushing 3-4 years ago. So I don't think Stipe's, ground game is going to be able to handle what Jon Jones is bringing. I hope it's a good fight, but I'm just not particularly sure how this fight plays out. With their age level and their skill, I'm not a big fan of when this fight is taking place. I wish it was taking place years ago, then I would be more for it. But at this particular time, I think the skill level we're going to see in this fight is going to be pretty bad. The second reason why I hate the fight between Stipe Miocic and Jon Jones is no matter who wins this fight, both of these guys are going to retire, and then the heavyweight title is going to be vacated. There's no real reason for this fight to be fought for a belt. What they should have done is vacated the heavyweight title, have a retirement fight between Stipe Miocic and Jon Jones, and have Sergey Pavlovich and Tom Aspinall fight for the vacated heavyweight title. So we get a passing of the baton to these young heavyweights that are crushing the game, and we get a good send-off for Stipe and Jon Jones. I just find it hard to believe that if Stipe Miocic finds some way to beat Jon Jones, that at 41, going on 42 years of age for his next fight, is going to defend the heavyweight title at that age. He's just not going to do it. If he beats Jon Jones, there's nothing else to accomplish in the sport. He's going to wave that belt in the air, and he's going to take off his gloves, and he's going to retire as one of the greatest UFC fighters of all time. Definitely the greatest heavyweight of all time. And the same thing goes for Jon Jones. If Jon Jones knocks off Stipe Miocic, who is consensus the best heavyweight of all time. There's nothing left for Jon Jones to accomplish. I think the same thing happens. Jon Jones, during his interview with Joe Rogan, he's going to take off the gloves and retire. I think we're going to get a dual retirement after the heavyweight bout at UFC 295, vacating the heavyweight title. So this fight is kind of happening for no reason. It's a legacy fight, sort of, but they're both at such an accelerated age. I mean, you don't really know who's really better. You know, Stipe's 41. If they were fought when Stipe was 35 or 36 and Jon Jones was like in his early 30s, then you could say who is better between these two guys. But at this point in their career, I just don't really think we get that from this fight. The third reason why I hate this Jon Jones-Stipe Miocic fight is more for a selfish reason. Because as a fan of MMA, we are most likely never going to get to see Jon Jones fight again. Jon Jones' legacy has been tarnished with controversy from PED use and domestic violence and drunk driving. I mean, there's so many crazy things that have went on with Jon Jones over the years. It's kind of sad in a way because he could have been the Michael Jordan of this sport. He probably could have even been bigger and more famous than Conor McGregor if he would have just not been a complete asshole. Jon Jones has fucked up so many times, you can't even count. And he's two different people. He's Jekyll and Hyde. The one day he's like the Jesus worshiping, kind guy, and the next he's crashing into pregnant women and driving off. So I don't think anyone knows who Jon Jones is. I don't think Jon Jones even knows who Jon Jones is. There's one thing I do know. He is the greatest mixed martial artist of all time. He has a 27-1 record, but it's really 28-0. He was beating the shit out of Matt Hamill before the illegal elbow. He got DQ'd, which is ridiculous. I mean, the skill set he had and the wins he had. Look at these wins. Quentin Jackson, Machida, Evans, Vitor Belfort, Chael Sonnen, Gustafsson, Glover, Daniel Cormier. I mean, it's just crazy. What he was able to accomplish from such a young age is truly remarkable, and I don't know if we'll ever see someone so young be so dominant in the UFC ever again. And it's sad for fans that we'll never get to see him fight again. It's the last 5 or 10 years of his career have really been, sad to an extent because he doesn't really fight a lot. And when he does fight, fans get so excited, and he always delivers with a performance. I mean, he might not be at his best at all times, but the fight is going to be a dogfight. He's going to put on a show for the fans, and I'm going to miss that covering MMA. I'm going to miss that for UFC fans that will probably not get to see Jon Jones ever again after I think he beats Stipe Miocic pretty handily. After the fight is over, he's going to get on that mic and he's going to retire from mixed martial arts. He has nothing left to prove. He's the greatest of all time, and a win over Stipe would definitely solidify that. A 2-weight division champion and the GOAT status. Jon Jones has nothing else to prove, and he's going to walk off into the sunset. It's going to be bittersweet for fans. I hope Jon Jones can find some peace as he moves forward with his life, because there's been a lot of crazy shit that's went on with him, and he needs to, figure out who he is after fighting. I think the same thing goes for Stipe. I think he's done too. I think he retires, and then we'll see what happens with the heavyweight division moving forward. We're going to have a vacated belt, so we're going to probably see Tom Aspinall and Sergey Pavlovich fight for a title at some point in the next year. It'll be cool to see. But there are the reasons why I dislike this fight. 2 legitimate reasons and 1 just for me. Alright guys, let me know in the comments below. Do you like this fight? Do you wish it was happening 4 or 5 years ago? Because I sure do. Subscribe, hit that like button. We'll catch you on the next video. Peace!